too much get into the liver cells, then they're becoming the fatty liver and losing the function of the liver. The fatty liver can control of the food, exercise again, avoid the overwork. If you do that, you couldn't get over it without taking any medicine. However, it continues, it occurs a problem. The remaining cholesterol, there's no place to go. Why? Even at the liver, it says, I can't take it the fat anymore. Then this make your the blood sticky. Then this problem becomes serious. After that, it's the only way to accumulate in the blood vessels. It accumulates in the blood vessels. But what kind of vessels? The blood vessels that the water injured by the active oxygen. This is a blood vessel. The red one is inside the blood vessel. This is a blood vessel wall. This is the blood cell on the artery wall. They are getting growing. This is inside the blood vessel cell. This is the white blood cell inside of blood vessel wall. There are many kinds of white blood cells. Among them, it calls monocyte. We call the Tanek the white blood cell in Korea. And this white blood cell, what's this? This blood vessel sends the radio wave, lead it into temptation. It's very weird. Why it's happening, the scientists don't know for sure. However, because of those things that the white blood cell inside of a blood vessel, they eat up. What they eat up is cholesterol. After the eating up, where to come? Come to the place that lead it into temptation. Come and it happens. Like this, you know what I mean? After the eating up the cholesterol and accumulated here, this yellow thing is the cholesterol, you know what I mean? So if this can't be treated in the liver, nor anywhere, this is no other choice but to get stuck in the walls of the blood vessel. Why? Like this way, the blood vessel becomes sticky and shouldn't be clogged. This phenomenon has no other choices. So the vascular cells say that the liver can't accept you. So we couldn't accept you. There is a meaning that something like that. So, what is the meaning of that is through the genes in the blood vessels send an electric wave. So, catch the cholesterol and save here, something like that. That's cosmic consciousness, the Creator's will. Or the phenomenon can't be happen. Why? What happened to suddenly the vascular cell in the arterial wall, but not a healthy person, not a healthy person. Healthy person, the one leading to temptation. The person who drinks a lot and eat a lot meat. Then the someone who has too much, they're under stress. Vegetarian doesn't take any cholesterol. So the vegetarians don't get the arteriosclerosis? No, they do. Vegetarian can get arteriosclerosis. What kind of a person? A person who is always annoying and worried. Those people have to produce tons of their stress hormones. Isn't the cholesterol essential raw material for that stress hormones? People say worry word. Were you born in this world to worry about anything? They always think negatively than positively. They always worry. So that is the meaning of their will. What is their will? They want to be under stress. Then the stress hormone comes out. In order to produce tons of the stress hormones, the liver have to produce a lot of the cholesterol. So some vegetarians have high cholesterol even though someone does a vegetarian diet. Cholesterol accumulated on the blood vessel and occurred arteriosclerosis. You know what I mean. So our mental state seems to have a big impact. Why? The way that vascular cells send signals like that. For example, some people eat meat every day, but they don't get arteriosclerosis. There's such a person. Some people say that they are the vegetarian, but some of them get arteriosclerosis. Then what does it depend on whether the arteriosclerosis get or not? It's up to temp or not, right? I thought it was very strange as a doctor. It was very strange back then. This person always eat meat, but his arteries are clean, and although cholesterol is high. Some people, even though the vegetarian, what happened? Cholesterol accumulates in the arteries, but it turns out because of the temptation. You can think this is a simple and funny way. Ultimately, arteriosclerosis is the person who wants to get arteriosclerosis. This is half joking and half serious. What is that? Even if they're always eating meat, what? The person who is the positive and live happily, taking the blood test, even though the high cholesterol, he or she doesn't get arteriosclerosis. I don't know how long it will go, but I often see such a phenomenon. So our mental attitude, yes, our attitude toward the life in the interpersonal relations as being negative and stressed out in a pessimistic way is just something what it's good to give the deep understanding and forgiveness. But you won't give that and say, hey, you'll pay for this. I'll teach you the lesson. If you do this all the time, what does gene respond to? It depends on the will. So, what happened to the genes in the blood cell? Most of the days, they have nothing to live for. They live this way, the folks. They are always angry, nervous, and worried about living. What words are coming out of your mouth? I'm sick of my life. These words come out of your mouth. I'd rather die than living this way. You could feel this way come up to your mind. That kind of the weird what the genes react to. So this person wants to get arteriosclerosis. The person doesn't live happily very much. Even you wish yourself, I'd rather die for living this way. Hey, living this way, I have nothing to live for. Well, this kind of unconscious mind, if this kind of unconscious mind always dominates your mind, it's just like, give me some of the cholesterol. When it happened like this arteriosclerosis occurs, this phenomenon, it can may occur the serious side effects. This is the blood vessel. It is very acute blood vessel. Blood vessel with no cholesterol. If you cut this blood vessel to the side, it looks like this. These red ones are the red blood cell, and these ones are the white blood cell. Keep going all the way, folks, as you learned. There are the white blood cells in here, right? The cholesterol brings things from in the sudden and accumulated like this. But certainly in some cases parted just like the volcano eruption. Suddenly split and there are sticky blood vessels here. It also exploded the cholesterol got here, mingled with that and look like the blood rice cake. It bucked in is clogged very hard to the blood vessel. This phenomenon called the thrombosis, like the cerebral thrombosis. The blood rice cake come and clog with the cork. A phenomenon like is clog with the cork. So when this the thrombosis happens, it becomes the infarction. What does the infarction mean is that if there is a blood clot, there will be more water, oxygen, or the nutrient supply, right? Then the cells that do not get the oxygen supplied dies. So the brain cells die, and the parts we say the brain becomes infected. If this happens in the heart, we call it the myocardial infarction. Now this is the phenomenon that artery infarction. If it cuts into the half, it's like this. This is how the yellow cholesterol accumulated into the blood vessel wall, and it becomes narrower and narrower gradually. That kind of a phenomenon. Now, when it gets very narrow, for example, carotid artery, which it gets up the neck, when it gets narrower, it gets the person disease. Why? Since the oxygen supply to the brain is poor. Then if the coronary arteries in the heart are narrower, when you wash your face, like this, angina pectoris. Because of this arteriosclerosis, there are many phenomena. Then the arteries in the intestines become clogged and narrower. After eating food, it won't digest well. Why? Intestines need to move and exercise, but the arteries are narrowed, and because of getting a lack of oxygen supply, then it starts to pain. Folks, what the funny thing is how doctors treat this arteriosclerosis. What do we recently do? Putting the balloon to the part that was narrowed using a pipe. A pipe stick a water balloon to put the pipe and put it in from a distance. Put it into the part that narrowed and put in the water tightly. Then the balloon expands. Let's take a look at the figure. This black one is a heart. This is aorta, and these are veins here. It becomes narrower, and the arteriosclerosis. Let's do a little engagement of this. This white one is the cholesterol that is accumulated. So how we do to fix this? Put the pipe down like this. It's balloon, right? When you put some water into the balloon, it will be full of water. When we do this, it makes the crunch sound. It forces to do it, so it makes a little bit tear up. Then it can't be tethered. It can stuck. So we need to put the wire entanglement. we call this stent.